We're gonna start right away, Benedikt right after, this is the collaboration session. We usually every event, we pick like 3 or 4 collaborations to give us an update on what they're doing, how we're using OSG. So Benedikt first from IceCube is gonna give us an update from IceCube and cloud services. Share. It should, yeah, just service. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna try to make it. First, there we go. So IceCube, so just as a reminder, IceCube is an neutrino observatory that's deployed at the South Pole inside the polar ice cap there, about 2 miles, so 3 miles down, between a mile and 2 miles down underneath the ice cap. Total about 5,160 modules that detect very complex neutrinos. So from the physics side, we do a lot of broad physics searches, after physics, neutrino physics, earth sciences, generally particle physics. What our mainstay is sort of neutrino astrophysics, and that's sort of the flagship, and then I'll see the main things. So from the 10,000 foot view, we have global heterogeneous resource pools. A lot of it's powered by past services and products. So Condor, soon Peloton. Most of our resources are shared opportunistic, meaning that we have very few dedicated resources. We mostly get allocations or collaborative allocations, and then we harvest those cores and everything. I was using Condor. We also, as you see, we drive data from the South Pole out Madison and then to Nurse and Daisy for archiving. We also need GPUs for most of our stuff. We have, because we're in the ICE, the national medium, we need to do the simulations. Because of our broad science, we have some niche dependencies. We operate 99% of the time for the last 12 years, so you can imagine how much data that is. And then, of course, our science has evolved over time, so we have done the GPU. We have added GPUs, we do astrophysics, so we have a sort of time limit. We do alerting on certain events, so there's a lot of stuff that has changed over the last 12 years. So from a global resource pool perspective, we all tied together by the Condor. We usually have Condor pilot, so basically we use the same pilot that the factory uses to start guidance, but we connect back to our own central manager. And basically we mostly do this at sites that don't have their own endpoints or don't have their own CVs or OCs, sort of Delta, Harvard, the NSF, the IceCube Computing facilities to compare this kind of big ones there. We have some hosted CDs that are hosted by PATH, which is for us Angle and Daisy. Then through the magic of flocking, we also flock out to the science pool through W Madison. So you might have been at the earlier talk today, but this is one of our sort of flagship analyses, multi-dimensional astrophysics. This is sort of computational, interesting part of the reconstruction there. We basically scan across the sky, we parcel out the sky and basically test every single point statistically. And through the likelihood maps, so basically we scan across the sky, test every point, and then we get a map like this that tells us, this is the hotspot for a certain event. This, or if we split the sky into thousands, if not millions, of different locations, so we can scale this horizontally out up to 1 million different cores that we could design if we want to. So also sort of relate to what we talked about earlier today in the plenary is the Event Workflow Management System. We use it as a sort of back end for this distribution of our this sort of workload. We host the back end on the PAP facility, so the message broker itself hosts it on Kubernetes in the PAP facility. And then, we have access to the open science tool for HTC Conda, and use HTC Conda as kind of the back end to send out our pilots. And then sort of the current forthcoming. So we're currently also using OCF in a very limited fashion. We do currently move a lot of data, but we don't really advertise it as a big service. So there is this sort of this best distribution of our OCF. It's mostly public data and very limited data set. In the future, we are switching to Pelican for data transfer to and from jobs, mostly to have integration with HTC Conda, but also because that kind of was the path of how things going as was after great deprecated. Something that is sort of related to this AlphaFold 3 that's on the path facility is also an inference as a service. They're, as you know, they're GPUs in the path facility, and we're trying to use these as for inference service, basically something that we're working with DMS by Go and Atlas. Through this thing called Sonic, basically having an HTTP endpoint in the path facility that could accelerate the inference. Yeah, that's it for my side.
Oh, this is our, just out of the box.
It works in a path facility a little bit more complicated because of how the workflow works, so I need to do that. But for example, in RP, it works out of the box.
Are there any requirements for this side?
No, you can use it depends on what you're actually doing on the front side. So if your model is more complex, the bigger GPUs, the host or the model.
Two items. The switch over to Pelican. Are there any blockers for you right now, or is that?
Yeah, so our main blocker is our token issuing. Because we issue tokens, you want to issue tokens through T-Flow. So, and we have to do some T-Flow magic to get those issued properly. In the right format.
Right. And then for the second bit, I heard you say AlphaFold, but I'm not sure that.
Well, there was this thing that you guys put in AlphaFold.
Yeah.
Which is basically this, but for AlphaFold. But this is more for what CMS Atlas, and so this is more flexible in that sense, and serve more than one model.
Right. Let's talk about that here, but because we had, I don't know how big the database is.
It's tiny.
Oh, okay.
There is no database. I mean, this is just basically HTTP service that sits in front of the GPU and then does some organization of, but it itself, the requirements for the GPU servers are fairly small. It is more getting into the app facility, getting it all set up with the magic that you guys have with the GitOps.
Right, and so we need to use how many, we've got a bunch of data numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to test it. It depends on what model you use. So if I use the generic model that I have, I think I can use one slide with A100. But there is some, I'm still tuning all the knobs.
Yeah.
To figure out what exactly is the right best setting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I'm looking for.
Thanks.
No other questions? Keep on there, do this for anything else, or is
So we use Keycloak for our users. So because all of our users are using Keycloak, that helps us to map the username properly, and if we need, so in the groups especially. And that part is why we couldn't, or we're not in the co-managed world.
right? That was going to be my second question. Are you authenticated to like all through someplace else?
Well, people provide a lot,
That's all, everything you can try to.
So is your key cloak connected then to like pre-IPA or something like that, or do you ever do everything?
we do everything centrally right now, but we're gonna scale on once.
Right.
Once we have it all,
So you have some tools to like make users in key cloak or whatever.
then those get propagated out to our LDAP for basically.
So for propagating things from key cloak to LDAP, did you write tools for that? We would be interested in those.
Right, because there's not really any out of the box tools for this guys.
You can do the reverse out of the box.
There's there something there. And this would be purpose for just a single storage or across the board?
Well, for our storage,
Or storage and buyback, whatever. What
but
about,
but we're doing it in such a way that it's more compatible with people, because there's like some, because of how the people with Java, of course, you have to write some jar file that does the right WLCG token thing.
and the files, the stash caches that you can currently deploy are talking about only the ones here, right? There's no other caches, so, or
We don't use caches.
no, stash caches is an origin.
Yeah, we only have one origin right now, but we're switching all the other ones. We're already at the origins.
Is CVMFS connected to that? Or is one for software?
The CVFS is connected to, or there is a separate CVFS instance. There's the IceCube.open OHTstorage.org or whatever it's called.
It's entire.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Benedikt? All right, Benedikt, thank you so much, sir.